Hello, and welcome back to Mr. B Teaches History. Today's lecture we will examine the role of government and politics within the Gilded Age. So let's get started. The government was not as active, but did take steps to promote growth and competition within the economy and marketplace. They gave federal land grants to railroads along the proposed routes that they could sell to settlers to fund construction while giving the government preferred rates. These grants created corruption at all levels of government and promoted poor, hastily construction, while government officials and insiders pocketed the cash. Individual states attempted to regulate railroads, but these laws were struck down by the Supreme Court in Wabash v. Illinois because they interfered with interstate commerce, which is a power of Congress. In response, the federal government passed the Interstate Commerce Act in 1887, which required railroad rates to be reasonable and just. Unfortunately, it helped railroads more than farmers by stabilizing rates and curtailing destructive competition, while the Enforcement Commission lost most of their cases in court. Citizens also feared the unchecked, concentrated power of trusts like Standard Oil, so Congress passed the Sherman Antitrust Act in 1890 to prohibit any combination of companies that would restrain trade or commerce. Unfortunately, it was too vague, and the Supreme Court ruled it could apply only to commerce, not to manufacturing, in the United States versus E.C. Knight Company in 1895. During this period, both parties avoided taking major stands on any issue and rarely debated political ideology. Political campaigns were more about parties and crowd pleasing, with many people fiercely loyal to their party because of regional, religious, or ethnic ties to them. With no active legislative agenda and with elections so evenly matched, elections became more about providing jobs through patronage than policy. Republicans drummed up support by reminding people that the Democrats were the ones responsible for the Civil War, so their support came from veterans, reformers, and African Americans, though they also got support from businessmen, the middle class, Protestants, and temperance supporters. Democrats dominated in the South and in cities with large political machines who mobilized the immigrant vote, but also included Catholics, Lutherans, and Jews. The assassination of President Andrew Garfield by a crazy office seeker led to the creation of the Civil Service Commission that created a system for people to apply for government jobs instead of relying on patronage. This caused politicians to rely more on rich supporters to run their campaigns instead of party workers. People debated the growth of money supply as it's needed to grow the economy. Debtors, farmers, and the poor wanted more money in circulation, so they supported printing more money and allowing the unlimited minting of silver coins. Bankers, creditors, and investors wanted hard money backed by only gold so that the dollar would hold its value against inflation. In response to this debate, Congress passed the Specie Resumption Act of 1875 to remove all paper money from circulation, which caused the supporters of soft money to create a political party called the Greenbacks, which died out at the end of their present economic hard times. The Bland Allison Act also limited the coinage of silver for currency. Congress also debated continuing the Civil War tariffs because they protected American manufacturers from cheaper overseas products. It led to other nations passing retaliatory taxes and lower farm prices because they could not sell overseas. Overspeculation in the stock markets and bankruptcy of railroads due to overbuilding created a 4-year economic depression, with President Cleveland taking a hands off approach towards the economy. Gold reserves fell due to people trading silver coins for gold dollars, which led Cleveland to borrow $65 million of gold to support the American currency. Democrats in Congress passed the Wilson-Gorman tariff that reduced tariff rates and also a 2% income tax on those who earn more than $2,000 a year, but this tax was declared unconstitutional soon after. The fear of a war between business and labor was a real fear due to the spread of the Pullman strike and the march of thousands of unemployed on Washington, who demanded $500 million to be spent on public works to create jobs. The issues and supporters of both political parties remained the same in this election as they had been for the last 20 years, but populists were gaining ground. The Democrats nominated pro-silver coinage candidate William Jennings Bryan, who wowed the convention with his cross of gold speech, which led them to take over the leading issue of the Populist Party. The dissatisfied Democrats separated into their own party or voted for Republicans. The Republicans nominated William McKinley and blamed the Democrats for the economic depression. While the Republicans used mass media to campaign and picked up disenchanted Democrats, and Bryan led a nationwide crusade for populist platform positions. McKinley won decisively and took office as the economy began to recover because of gold discoveries in Alaska, rising farm prices, increased factory production, and a climbing stock market. This election marked the end of the political stagnation of the parties and led to the demise of the populists, the domination of Republicans in the presidency as the party of business and industry, a victory for the urban centers over their rural counterparts.
If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or clarifications you would like to make about this lecture, please leave a comment below. If you learned something new, please consider leaving a like. If you would like to receive notifications of more content like this, please consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If you would like to support this channel and creator financially, please check out the links in the description for merchandise or sites that will provide me direct financial support for the work of this channel. Thank you for your time and have a great day. Class dismissed.